Shalom. What do you do when life makes you unclean on the days of your most important appointment with the Creator? And what do you do when the cloud over the tabernacle doesn't move for a day, a month, a full year? Do you pack away because you think it's fine? Welcome to AsahxMusic Torah Studio, where we worship with sax and walk in Torah. We are now 9 chapters into Bamidbar. The altar is built, the Levites are consecrated, the menorah is lit, and the altar has been dedicated. Now, in Numbers 9, the Creator does something unexpected. He takes Israel back to the beginning. Before anything else happens, before the camp moves a single step, they are commanded to keep Passover. Exactly 1 year after Egypt, in the wilderness, with everything that came with the original night, unleavened bread, bitter herbs, and the blood of the lamb. And then the Passover is complete. The cloud comes down, and Israel's navigation goes live. Open with me to Numbers chapter 9, verse 1, and we'll read on till verse 5. And Creator spoke to Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai in the first new moon of the second year after they had come out of the land of Mizraim, saying, Now let the children of Israel perform the Pesach at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this new moon, between the evenings, perform it at its appointed time. According to all its laws and right rulings, you perform. And Moshe spoke to the children of Israel to perform the Pesach. So they performed the Pesach on the 14th day of the first new moon, between the evenings in the wilderness of Sinai. According to all that the Creator commanded Moshe, so the children of Israel did. So there we have instructions to keep the Pesach. Let the children of Israel keep the Pesach at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month at twilight, you shall keep it in its appointed season. And then you have verse 5 says, And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at twilight. They are 1 year removed from Egypt, still in the wilderness, no permanent home, no land, no harvest yet to celebrate. And the Creator says, Keep the Passover, rehearse your redemption. Not when you get to Canaan, not when things stabilize, no. In the middle of unfinished business, unfinished journey. The second Passover in Numbers 9 is the first time Israel keeps the Passover since the night of the Exodus itself. The Creator could have waited until the camp was established, until the Levites were assigned, until the journey was on the way. He doesn't wait. The first thing he commands in chapter 9, before the cloud descends, before Israel moves, is to remember and rehearse the redemption. Imagine a family celebrating their anniversary in the middle of a crisis. The house is in construction, the finances are stretched, nothing feels settled. They celebrate anyway because the marriage was real before the house was finished. Israel in the wilderness is the same. The redemption from Egypt was real. The covenant was real. The blood of the Lamb was real. The Creator marks the anniversary even in the middle of unfinished story because redemption does not depend on arrival. It depends on what happened the night you left. We are often tempted to postpone rehearsing what the Creator has done until things are more settled, until the journey is less chaotic, until we have more to show. Numbers 9 establishes a rhythm. You keep the appointed time whether or not the conditions are ideal. The wilderness is a valid place to celebrate redemption. The Creator's instruction is not contingent on your comfort level. Rehearse what He has done, especially in the middle of the unfinished story. Israel kept Passover in the wilderness, not in the land, not when things were settled. The Creator does not wait for ideal conditions to ask you to remember your redemption. Numbers 9 says, rehearse what He did, especially in the middle of the unfinished story. Now let's read the provision, verses 6 through to 14. But there were men who were defiled for a being of a man, so that they were not able to perform the Pesach on that day. So they came before Moshe and Aaron that day, and those men said to him, "We are defiled for being of a man. Why are we withheld from bringing near the offering of the Creator at his appointed time among the children of Israel?" And Moshe said to them, "Wait, let me hear what the Creator commands concerning you." And the Creator spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, saying, when any male of you or your generations is unclean for being, is far away on a journey, he shall still perform the Pesach of the Creator. On the 14th day of the second new moon, between the evenings, they perform it. With unleavened bread and bitter herbs they eat it. They do not leave off it until morning, and they do not break a bone of it. According to all the laws of the Pesach, they perform it. But the man who is clean and is not on a journey and has failed to perform the Pesach, that same being shall be cut off from among his people, because he did not bring the offering of the Creator at his appointed time. That man bears his sin. And when a stranger sojourns among you, then he shall perform the Pesach of the Creator. He shall do so according to the law of Pesach, according to his right ruling. You have one law, both for the stranger and the native of the land. So we see there were some men that were ceremonially unclean because of a dead body. They could not keep the Passover on the appointed time. They came to Moshe and Aaron with a question that carries real weight. We saw it in verse 7. We see it there in verse 7. We're defiled because of a corpse. Why are we kept back from presenting the offering of the Creator at its appointed time among the children of Israel? They're not asking to be excused. They're asking to be included. The uncleanness happens to them, and their response is not to accept their exclusion. It is to bring their situation to Moshe and to ask him to inquire of the Creator. Verse 8 tells Moshe told him, "Let me hear what the Creator will command concerning it." And the Creator responds, "If any one of you of posterity is unclean, this is what you do." A second Passover, 1 month later, same rules: unleavened bread, bitter herbs, no broken bones, nothing left until morning. Full participation, but just at a different time. But verse 13 carries a warning. If a man is clean and is not on a journey and still fails to keep the Passover, that person shall be cut off from his people. Uncleanness excuses, distance excuses, indifference does not. What does this teach us? The second Passover provision is one of the most gracious rulings in the entire Torah. A man is unclean through no obvious fault. Contact with a dead body could happen to anyone, especially the Levites who carried the camp's sacred objects. The Creator does not tell him the appointed time is final and he simply missed it. He creates a new appointed time for those whom life interrupted. Two Israelite men stand before Moshe on the 14th day of the first month. The first one is unclean. He touched that body and is in the middle of a 7-day purification period. He came to ask. He wanted to keep the Passover but couldn't. Creator says, 1 month from now, you'll have your day. The second man is clean, healthy, nearby, available, and simply did not come. He had no interruption. He had no journey. He just didn't prioritize it. The Creator's response to him is verse 13. The same extension for the appointed time is not extended to the second man. The Creator's mercy is directional. It moves toward those who are interrupted, unclean, far away, and still reaching. It doesn't move toward those who are clean and close and simply not bothering. There's a difference between an interrupted appointment and a dismissed one. The unclean man who came to Moshe and said, "Why must we be excluded?" received a second chance. He asked. He pressed in. He refused to accept the exclusion. The Creator's response to that kind of hunger is notable. The unclean man came to Moshe and said, "I am defiled, but why should I miss the Creator's Passover?" He got a second appointed time. The man who was clean, available, and simply didn't come, got verse 13. The Creator extends to the interrupted. It does not cover the indifferent. Now let's read the navigation system of the wilderness, verses 15 through to 23. And on the day that the dwelling place was raised up, the cloud covered the dwelling place, the tent of the witness. From evening until morning, it was above the dwelling place like the appearance of fire. Thus it was continually. The cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tent, after the children of Israel would depart. And in the place where the cloud dwelt, there the children of Israel would camp. At the mouth of the Creator, the children of Israel departed, and at the command of the Creator, they camped. They remained camped as long as the cloud dwelt above the dwelling place. Even when the cloud lingered many days above the dwelling place, the children of Israel guarded the charge of the Creator and did not depart. And so it was, when the cloud was above the dwelling place a few days, according to the mouth of the Creator, they camped, and according to the mouth of the Creator, they would depart. And so it was, when the cloud dwelt only from evening until morning, when the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they departed, whether day or by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up, they departed. Whether 2 days or a new moon or a year, that the cloud lingered above the dwelling place to dwell upon it, the children of Israel camped and did not depart when it was taken up. They departed. At the mouth of the Creator they camped, and at the mouth of the Creator they departed. They guarded the charge of the Creator at the mouth of the Creator by the hand of Moshe. So we see from the day the tabernacle was erected, the cloud was rested on it. The visible, external, undeniable presence of the Creator, cloud by day, fire by night. You could not miss it. There was no ambiguity. The cloud lifts, they move. The cloud settles, they camp. No other signal, no strategy meeting, no democratic vote among the 12 tribes about whether this is a good time to travel. 2 days, a month, a full year, whatever the duration, they waited. So we see they got clear instructions and they obeyed the instructions. The hardest part is staying when everything says go. How do we respond? The cloud and fire navigation system in Numbers 9 is the most radical anti-self-reliance principle in the entire wilderness journey. There's no formula for how long the cloud will stay. It could be one night, it could be a year. Israel never knew in advance. The entire life of movement was governed by one question. As the cloud moved, imagine a leader in the camp who has been watching the cloud for 11 months. His tribe is camped in the same location, his family is settled, the grazing is good, the water is adequate, and everything is functioning well. He starts to think, we should move soon. The season is changing. This is a good window, strategically, but the cloud is still in the tabernacle. What does Numbers 9 say he does? He waits, not because the circumstances don't suggest movement, because the cloud hasn't moved. And in month 12, the cloud lifts at midnight, and by dawn the camp is breaking and Israel is marching on the Creator's timetable, not the leader's timetable. The hardest part of cloud navigation is not moving when the cloud moves. It is staying when the cloud stays and every human instinct is telling you it is time to go. The Creator's directions in Numbers 9 are not primarily about movement, they are about rest. When the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle many days, the children of Israel kept the charge of the Creator, and they journeyed not. Keeping the charge of the Creator sometimes looks like complete stillness when the world says you should be moving. The cloud is the authority, not the calendar, not the strategy, not the comparison to where other camps are positioned. And there's a deeper meaning. Verse 23 actually tells, let's look at verse 23. It closes the chapter with a phrase that appears 5 times in 4 verses. At the command of. Journey at his command. Keep his charge at his command. The repetition is deliberate. The Creator is establishing absolute principle of tabernacle-centered navigation. Everything originates from his command, not from Moses' wisdom, not from the tribal leaders' consensus, not from environmental conditions. The cloud speaks. Israel responds. That is the entire operating system. The hardest part of following the cloud is not moving when it moves. It is staying still when every circumstance says go. Numbers 9 says they waited 2 days, a month, even a full year. Cloud navigation requires something you're submitting your timeline to the creators. The cloud is the authority, not your calendar. What can we learn from Numbers 9? Numbers 9 holds two movements that answer the same question. How do you live in dependence on the Creator when the wilderness is uncertain? You keep the Passover even in the middle of the unfinished story. You rehearse your redemption on the appointed day, and if life interrupts, you press in and ask for your second chance. Because the Creator has grace for the interrupted, but not for the indifferent. And then you watch the cloud, you move when it moves, you camp when it settles, you wait for 2 days, a month, a year, because the Creator's timing is not subject to your strategy. This week, ask yourself, am I keeping my appointed times with the Creator even in the middle of my wilderness season? Am I watching the cloud or making my own movement plan? And when the cloud stays, am I staying or am I already packing? Thank you for walking through Numbers 9 with me. Like, share, and subscribe, and don't miss a single chapter. And now, a live sax meditation. Let the sound carry the patience of the cloud watcher, the hunger of the unclean man who refused to miss his Passover, and the stillness of a camp that only moves when he says, move. Shalom.